Hi, I'm here with Laura Kate Chapman at the Hilton Cambridge City Centre Hotel. Laura, it's great to have you here. Thank you very much for visiting the hotel. We'll come to MOOOre Gin Please in a moment, but can I just ask, have you been to Cambridge before?
I have. I visited whilst the trail was live, so I could come and see, obviously, the cow that I have created for yourselves, but also I did tour the sculpture. So I had a nice 2 days wandering around the city and was very, very impressed.
Fantastic. What would you say is your favourite site or attraction or thing to do?
I think the architecture is just beautiful. And I think both me and my husband have said that we're very allured with the idea of the university, and the students have such a beautiful place called university. I also love the museums, the galleries, and I just think the shops are also very nice as well. Lots of lovely independent shops, which I'm a big fan of.
Super. Keep those credit cards at home. Moving on to MOOOre Gin Please, the wonderful cow inspired by the gin botanicals that you created. So can I ask you, what is your background, or what was the background on the gin inspiration?
So I was aware that Cambridge has its own gin that is distilled here, so that intrigued me, but also as a gin drinker myself, I appreciate the craft of craft gin, but also I love nature, so I often with my artwork find any excuse to incorporate nature into designs, and I think for this cow in particular, the inspiration was around the botanicals and old-fashioned illustrative botanical illustration as well, so that really heavily influenced this design, and yeah, I just love floral patterns and things like that. So
what can you tell us about the colours that you used?
I am always drawn to blue as a colour. I'm very much a big fan of the colour blue, but also I craftily knew that the branding for the Cambridge gin was the kind of turquoise colours, so I wanted to incorporate that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of blue. And I think it's just a really nice tranquil colour as well, which I think is, it's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, fantastic. And we do serve the Cambridge gin here at the Hilton Cambridge Hotel. We love the name, so MOOOre Gin Please. How did you come up with a name?
I love a pun. So I always, when I'm naming my sculpture, sometimes it's very difficult, it's quite hard to get a pun in there, but I think there needed to be some reference to the cow, so I think the moo kind of, and I did have a little bit of help. However, I have learned that your staff have renamed her Virginia, which I actually think is better, and I quite like that gives her a name, a human name as well, which I enjoy.
Well, I'll let the team know that you approve of that, and that we can officially call her Virginia in the hotel. Yes. Super. She's been on the move around Cambridge, so she was originally outside the hotel during the art trail, and now she's in our atrium lobby here in the hotel as her new home. What do you think of her new home?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's lovely that it's one of the first things that you see when you arrive in the hotel. I love that she's elevated on the sort of like a throne, a pedestal, which I think is only correct and proper.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, would you be taking part in any future art trails in Cambridge if they came along?
I would love to, yes, I'd love to. I think there's a lot of inspiration within the city, and obviously now having visited a couple of times, I think I would have lots of inspiration for future designs, so yes, I would love to.
And how many other art trails have you been involved in?
So many, I've lost count. I know that I've done over, I think it's over 25 sculptures to date. Some of those have been city trails, and some of them have been community projects or school projects. Most recently, I've just finished painting 2 snowmen, which are on display in Birmingham and Swaddlingcote, which is not a place I'd heard of before. And I will soon be painting another one, which is arriving this week, but I can't say what sculpture that is at the moment.
Okay, big secret. Big secret. How proud were you to do sculptures in your home city of Manchester?
So proud. So yes, I think that was in 2016. May have got the date wrong, but that was Being the City project.
Yep.
Yes, I'm from Manchester, and it was a real honour, and it was so well received. I think it's been one of the most popular trails that Wild in Art have done, and yeah, I mean, I've got goosebumps now. It was such an honour, and it was amazing to go to the event where they auctioned them off, because so much money was raised, and one of mine went for the most money, so I was very pleased about that.
Speaking of money, Wild in Art have calculated that we raised over £12 million for the Cambridge economy during the art trail in the summer this year. And also, all the cows, 48 big cows at auction, raised £257,000 for the Break charity. How does that make you feel when you know that the amazing art and work that you're doing is benefiting those charities?
I mean, I think it's incredible, and I think it's really important to me to be a part of that. I think that it is, raising money for the local economy, but especially for the money that is raised for charities is one of the big reasons that I get involved in these projects. I think if my artwork can be a small help along that way, then that is just amazing, and I'm really proud and happy to be a part of that.
Just a bit about you. What brought you into art in the first place?
I've been drawing since I could hold a pencil. My mum still has an old exercise book which I drew pictures and wrote stories in from like the age of 5. She still has that, which can't say that the pictures are that great. I hope I've come a long way since then. But yeah, I've always been interested in it. I always knew I wanted to do something with art. I just didn't know what. So I think it was probably when I was in college that I decided that illustration was kind of the pathway for me. Working with words and images just really appealed to me. I'm happiest when I'm drawing and creating. So yeah.
We've certainly put that illustration to work on Virginia.
Yes.
It's amazing. How long did it take you from start to finish with MOOOre Gin Please?
It's hard to say because I did, as I said earlier, I created 3 sculptures in total for the Cambridge Trail, and I was painting them all consecutively. I would say the bit that took the longest is not the bit that you will think took the longest. Getting the background colour and the fading on the background colour was very pesky, so that did take a long time, but yeah, hours. And I painted in a storage unit in Liverpool because I had 3 sculptures, so yes, quite cold. On the run up to Christmas as well, so.
No heating.
Yes.
What was the most difficult or challenging part of our lovely cow sculpture?
The udders.
Yes.
I had to get my yoga on to get into the correct position to paint udders, and they banged me on the head, and they don't look like that would be quite painful, but it was. So yes, the udders were the trickiest bit.
Well, she survived. So did
yes,
you.
I did.
So thank you so much.
No
You
problem.
created an amazing piece of artwork.
Thank you.
Both in raising very valuable funds for the Break charity, promoting Wild in Art, and also giving our lobby such an amazing work of art. And we're so glad that we've given her a home now.
I'm glad too. I think it's amazing that at least one cow will remain in the heart of Cambridge, and I can come visit. It's really lovely.
Anytime.
Yes.
Super. Thank you so much.
No
Lauren.
problem. Thank you.